Can I taste your juice?
Hey folks, hang on one second. PBusardo, hang on one second. I just want to close the door here. Sit down with you guys and have a little chat. Hey folks, PBusardo. So here we go. Here we go. This is going to be the last video of 2017 as we move into the new year. So what exactly are we going to do in this video? This is going to be like us just hanging out and having a chat, I guess. Not really a review video. We're going to take a look at a couple of things here and talk to you about the Greece trip, what happened there, the opening of Liquid Puff. Excuse me while I have a sip of my morning coffee here. What else are we going to do? We're going to do another addition to the stocking. Of course, in this case, the sack, which is part of the stocking contest. At the end of this video, we're going to do a really, really nice addition to the stocking at the end of this video. I'm going to let you know how to win it, and I'll just give you my ideas and opinions of 2017 and moving into 2018. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in this video. So let's start, because I got something in, and it made me smile. This makes me smile. So, you know, I just reviewed the Og Vape Merlin MTL RTA. Well, this just came into me, okay? And I don't, do I have the original? I don't have the original box here. But this box is a little bit shorter. And when I open this box, that's the mouthpiece that I find on it, right? So, they have certainly listened. They have certainly listened, you know, and I love that. If through the videos, you know, we can, not just my videos, but other reviewers' videos as well, if we could, you know, get manufacturers to make a better product for you guys, I'm thrilled with that, okay? So it looks like they listened. I don't know if there's any other differences with this tank, but I'm showing you what I got. I'm sure I'll revisit it in the future. So that's the Og Vape Merlin MTL RTA. I'm not greeted with that giant mouthpiece anymore on a mouth-to-lung rebuildable tank atomizer, which I think is terrific, okay? So there's that. What else? What else I have for you are vape shears. Vape shears, yeah, here, these guys right here, Vape Shear. These came into me from Matt. So a lot of you are going to say to yourself, can I just use any scissors to cut cotton and use with vaping? Of course you can, right? But I love the entrepreneurship here. I love the fact that there are folks trying to make a living with vaping, not only by putting out devices and putting out tanks, but also putting out accessories like these. So according to Matt, these are hand-tuned and perfected in the U.S., okay, in the USA, and 5% of profits are donated to vaping industry advocacy. I think that's terrific. I do have an email to share with you should you be interested in these. They are vapeshear@gmail.com. There is also a vapeshear.com website, and they do have them in green, in red, and blue, and in black, and they are $14.99 each, okay? So hopefully that helps out Matt, and since, you know, the spirit of Christmas, I am going to put the green one. I should put the red one in too, shouldn't I? Because it's Christmas. Hold on. Okay, I found them. The green and the red going in the stocking in the spirit of Christmas. That's why I chose these two colors. And Matt, I wish you all of the best of luck with this venture. Okay, so off to Greece I went. The flight, it's about a 9.5 hour flight there, about 11 hour flight coming back. When I got there, I was greeted by Dimitri's shiny, smiley face with a funny message for me. I just got to Athens, and there he is.
Hey! What? So I'm excited. I don't miss you.
Hot Italian stud. Hey, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
All right, so now on to the Greece event, the grand opening of Liquid Puff, and I sincerely want to thank my buddy Dimitri for having me out for that. And I wish him and Gregorio and everybody involved, Stelios and Johnny, everybody involved with Liquid Puff, all of the best of luck with that venture as well. So what did I bring with me? What did I use when I was there? I bought the Chroma because I love the Chroma, but I also brought this SX Mini MX class. I've showed you this real quick before. I'm showing you it real quick again. This was given to me. I believe this is a prototype. This is not a final market edition, but I'm very, very excited to get the final version of this and share it with you because it just feels fantastic. It feels rugged. It feels solid. I'm loving the look of that. I am really, really thrilled with the look of that. It does sit a little bit wobbly. It's got a very small platform where it does sit down on the table. I'm not sure if they're going to change that or not, but once I have the market edition of this, I do want to share it with you because the screen is stellar on it. It's really, really bright, vivid, clear, and just holding it and using it feels very, very solid. So I look forward to sharing that with you. Also with me came the H cigar, the VT75D, this guy right here. I still pick it up every now and then, push those panels like it was the fire button, but I can live with that. You know, believe it or not, you can still live with a device that has thumbs down, right? And this has become one of my favorite devices. I just like the compactness of this, how small this feels in the hand, considering that it has dual 18650 batteries in it. Really good battery life, and I've been really happy with the look and feel of this one. And obviously the finish is lasting because obviously there is no finish. This is just just metal, right? So I've been really happy with that one. And of course I was using the Chroma and the Aries as well. Now the Liquid Puff shop itself in a really cool section of Greece. A lot of shops, a lot of like little walking paths and areas. It was in a really cool section.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
This is a really cool little area here, Dimi.
Yeah,
Is all shopping down that way?
yeah, these are all the streets that go
That way?
this way,
Yeah. Cars?
horizontally, or for cars.
Okay.
And they're all one way, so you either go this way or that way.
Got it.
And all the streets that go vertically are for pedestrians.
Pedestrians, so all shopping now.
It's all shopping.
Where's the meat? Where's the meat?
We're going to get it now.
Where's the meat?
We're going to get the meat. Yeah, come on, let's go find the meat.
All right, let's go find them.
All right.
Let's go.
See ya.
See ya.
I think the battery's low on this. It's flashing red. I would assume
That would mean
that means the battery's low. Okay. See, Daniel, DJ LED,
He has extra
he would.
batteries.
I have extra batteries, but he would know what the flashing red light means too, probably. Yes, Daniel, we are busting your balls without you even being there to defend yourself. So you already heard some Greek there. I heard a lot of Greek. Dimitri instantly goes to Greece, and I sit there wondering what's going on. All I hear is Greek. That's all I hear. I don't know what's going on. It's all Greek. Yeah, exactly right.
Basically, we're talking about how small PBusardo's penis was.
Don't listen to it's ridiculous. But this is what I gotta deal with while I'm here. So I'll talk to you guys for a while. All right? That wasn't nice. But of course, I would expect ball busting because ball busting does go both ways, and it is never ending. Just built the coil. Can I see the tool that you use right there? Oh, that's interesting.
I figured I'd prove to you that I don't need to have the DB tool to build all the times. I can do it like this.
You can. The event itself, really, really good. Very, very well attended. The event was held both inside the shop and outside the shop as well. Outside, they had a bunch of food for the people who attended, and it was good. It was really good to see these people come out and support the event. It was great to meet so many of them and just have really, really good conversations with them. And it's also good to find that person in the crowd that reminds us and continues to remind me why I do what I do.
So I'm asking him if he speaks English, you dumbass. Let me. I'm the director.
Okay.
Do you want to do the interview? Or you want me to do this?
Listen, just do the interview.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What is your name?
Simos,
Simos. How long have you been smoking?
from 12 years old.
And how old are you now?
Now I'm 30.
30. So he's been smoking for 18 years. So you tried in the past to quit smoking with vaping. What was wrong? Was it leaking? Was it difficult? You weren't satisfied? What was wrong? Why couldn't you quit smoking?
I think I'm not ready. In
Not ready
my
yet.
Mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is the third attempt. So
Yes.
far, how long have you been smoke free? How long have you quit now?
5-6 days.
5, 6 days. You feel better?
Uh,
Slowly?
slowly.
So congratulations to you, Simos. I know we're early on in your vaping adventure here at this point, 5 or 6 days, but I'm wishing you many more smoke-free days, and hopefully very, very soon we're going to be able to measure your success in years and not days, right? But I think it's an important message. I think it's an important message that, if you've tried vaping in the past, and you were unsuccessful with it, try it again. Luckily, this gives us everything that we need, right? It gives us the oral fixation. It gives us the hand to mouth. It gives us the throat hit. It gives us the flavor. It gives us the fake smoke, right? The vapor. And of course, it gives us the nicotine. So I think it's important that if you have failed in the past, don't beat yourself up over it. You got to be mentally ready. You got to be willing to do this. If you failed in the past, try again. If you got the wrong product or a product you were unhappy with, try another product. You know, I always say at this point in the game, if you're unable to make the transition over to vaping from smoking, either you really don't want to, or you're not ready, or you're not trying hard enough, because there are a lot of excellent products out there that will satisfy you. So don't give up. Don't give up. Try again if you've already tried in the past. Another person in the crowd was John, Hexome John. John came out to Greece to support the event and support his Hexome devices that are being carried by Liquid Puff. And I think he's off to Italy after Greece. So doing a little bit of traveling, John is. So what company are you with?
Craven Vapor, Austin, Texas.
Really? And what mod are you known for?
Hexome.
I heard about those. I did.
Worldwide.
Are you enjoying your time in Greece?
It's wonderful.
And I enjoy talking to John. The more I talk to John, the more I understand that he's just a great guy, number one. And number two, it's interesting to hear the history of the Hexome, the progression of the Hexome, and how concerned he is with the quality and the support of the Hexome. So John, all of the best with your future Hexome devices. I know he has another one coming out that I'm going to be very interested in taking a look at. All right, so who else was there? Dr. Farsalinos. I try to do that with a Greek accent, and it fails miserably. Dr. Farsalinos. He was there also telling me about a new study that he's going to be involved with, and as I find out more about that study, I'll share that with you guys. And Vasilis was there. And I'm going to talk about Vasilis, and I'm going to actually show you the Skydrop in just a little bit, because I had a really, really cool conversation with Vasilis. I have a lot of respect for that gentleman. But anyway, he was there, and Dimitri talked to him at the event a little bit.
Hey folks, PBusardo. Hey, look who we have here. You know who this guy is?
It's Vasilis.
Vasilis with E-Smoke Guru. Mix one of your favorite atomizers. The Skyline. And he has the drop now, the Sky Drop.
Photos of the drop. Yes.
So did you take it? Did you see it?
I don't have one yet.
Yeah, well, you will by the end of the day. What are you? Oh, I thought you were.
No, you can
down
talk.
here.
You can talk into the microphone.
Okay, is this okay? I feel like I'm on The Price Is Right.
You are.
I feel like I'm the Greek Drew Carey. Vasilis, where can people get information for the Skyline, please?
In our group, of course, and at ismoguru.com.
On Facebook, there's a E-Smoke Guru group as well. You join inside, all the information that you can find, any help that you need. But this Skydrop, man, is just so sexy.
We will be ready before
By the
Christmas.
way, I can already tell. I'm going to have to teach you. When he starts to talk, you put the microphone on him.
Oh, like this? But anyway, this is the Skydrop, and we saw actually this in Paris. We saw the prototypes that are there. The machining on it is impeccable, and it also drops the atomizer mix. That's why it's called the Skydrop. Get it? Yeah. So it looks really, really nice on the Skyline, and I can't wait to get ours too.
Thank you
So,
very much.
but
But don't let us speak about the Skydrop. We are for Dimi and Phil here, and look at this beautiful shop.
Vasilis is just a really, really cool guy. And before I talk more about him, and because he did invite us to his store, he has a store there too. If you're into the Skyline and you're interested in the Skydrop, let me show you that real quick, because I did get one. Okay, guys, so here's the original Skyline atomizer, and this is going to be the drop kit. It's going to turn this into a much smaller, much sexier little atomizer for you. This is going to be a mouth-to-lung atomizer. I do have my own mouthpiece on here, so let me go ahead and remove this. All right, and what I'm going to do is remove the deck. So the drop kit is going to use the same exact deck, and we're just going to take this deck now, and we're going to screw it into the drop kit. Like that. And now we go from something that looks like this with the deck to something that looks like this. Now, a couple of things here. You're going to be limited to the mouthpiece that is supplied, because the mouthpiece is also the liquid flow control. But I gotta say, the machining and the quality, because this is a very, very small little piece right here, and you know, it's always hard to describe machining and quality, but the threading is just unbelievable on this. As a matter of fact, here's the bell piece, and the only way to appreciate how this feels is to actually do this yourself, right? But I'm going to go ahead and take this and back it all the way out and actually screw it in the other way, which is not the way to do this, but I just wanted you to see this movement here. It is just so smooth and very, very well done. Now, the one that you just saw in that little bit of video right there is just like one of the different combinations that he has for the other drop kit. There's like a bunch of combinations. I don't have a good photo for you, but I was shooting some video over his shoulder when he was showing us the different versions. So for more information on the different versions and on the pricing and availability and everything, just go to the esmokeguru.com website. So Vasilis invited us over to his store the next day. He does have an eSmoke Guru shop there where he sells the Skyline and other products as well, and it was really cool to sit down and talk with the guy, outside of a show, because he kind of walked us through the process, and even went as far as like opening up his spreadsheets to show us like what goes into making a Skyline and why things like that cost more than things like than other things, right? And really kind of had a conversation about like what is high end. The amount of pride a guy like that takes in his product is really second to none. It's second to none. And it's to him and to me, and I'm sure to some other folks out there, high end is about using the absolute finest materials that you can come up with, right? Doing the best possible job on machining, right? And once everything comes in, when you put it together, like additional handwork in polishing, in making sure that it's absolutely perfect, in the presentation, in the packaging, everything, all of that goes into what I consider, what he considers, and I'm sure what other people consider high end, right? And it just becomes a question of whether or not that's worth it to you when it comes to the high end devices. For some folks, it's not going to be, and that's absolutely okay. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have a good vape, but for other folks, for folks who just want the best of the best, or maybe something very, very special in your arsenal of vaping products, right? It may very well be worth it to you to have something like that. So to know that there are guys out there like Vasilis who's taken such like great pride in not only the product itself, but everything that goes into that product itself, I think it's great. All right, so before we wrap up this Greek adventure, I want to thank somebody else because he did something like super, super special for us, and it means a lot, and I'm just like really, really humbled by it. His name is Athen Kontinos. I hope I'm saying that right, and he is with Mod Addy. And what he did was he took a single block of stab wood, and he separated it, and he made two devices for Dimitri and I. And when those two devices come together, they do form a heart. I'm absolutely thrilled. I can't wait to get it. Athen, thank you so very, very much for that gift. It's absolutely wonderful and something that I'm going to cherish forever. And now I can finally say that Dimitri and I have officially shared wood. So that is it. To Dimitri, Gregorio, Stelios, Johnny, I wish you guys the best of luck with Liquid Puff, all the success in the world. I hope you open up a whole bunch of them, okay? To everybody I met there, everybody I talked to, everybody I had a conversation with, to this day, it still humbles me for me to go to another country and like anybody even knows who I am. So to you guys, thank you so much for the hospitality. Great food, great people. Great event. I really look forward to going back to Greece sometime soon. Especially, I really want to bring my wife because my wife would like really, really like the food there. China, not so much, but especially because like everything gets served with like some kind of French fry, and my wife really is kind of a French fry lover, right? So thank you very much, and I look forward to coming back to Greece. Okay, so I thought about Button Awards this year. I'm not going to do Button Awards this year because I kind of went back and I looked at everything that I reviewed, and there's some great product in there, right? But I don't think there's anything really like earth-shattering. I think I'm going to reserve Button Awards for something like completely different, and maybe thinking outside of the box. Maybe thinking outside of the box is something like the Soren drop, or the Soren. Come on, man. Come on. The Soren, what is it? The flat one. There's the Soren drop, and then there's the flat one. And the flat one would be the Soren Air. I'm going to leave that in there. So, yeah, like maybe like that is thinking outside of the box, right? But I thought instead what I would do is I would walk through liquids, devices, and tanks, and kind of like what I used most during the course of the year. So if I were to like think devices, right, earlier on in the year, I would have to give it to the Radius, right? And my God, this thing is so old at this point, and it still looks like brand new. It was just so sad to see that company go away. But the Radius, I really like the Radius, and I really like the Kabuki on it, especially with the P3 connections on both. This was probably my primary device earlier on in the year. As I progressed a little bit, I got that chroma in my hand, and I really fell in love with that chroma. I just like where the hell is that one? There it is. I just really like the look and the compactness of this little guy. And then I think towards the end of the year, I started using the Aegis a lot, right? Because that is another one that I still think that this is a fantastic looking piece, right? I would really like to see this and use just an 18650 version of it. Keep the looks exactly the way they are. Maybe fix some of the issues in the firmware, and give me a smaller version of this that looks just like that. Love the look of that piece. And then the H cigar, the VT75D. I really do like the new DNA interface, the new Evolve interface. I think it makes getting around the device a whole lot easier than all of the key sequences that we had with previous Evolve devices. So I think that is a step in the right direction. So that's kind of like a look of things from devices. Tanks, again, I would say earlier on in the year with replaceable coil tanks, it had to be the Kabuki, right? Also the Vika Fantasy that I used most. When it came to rebuildables, I was still using the Skyline. I really like that as the high end. And then I got into the still using the Digiflavor Siren 1. Okay, still think that is a fantastic tank. I think the Digiflavor Siren 2 is even better than the Siren 1. We could get it a lot tighter in the draw than the original Siren. I think the build is easier on the Siren 2, and I don't have the leaking and the seepage issues that I did have with the other Siren 1. So I would say that is the progression in tanks during the course of the year. So replaceable, kind of Kabuki, Vika Fantasy. Towards the end of the year, definitely I did a lot of testing with the Zenith that's coming out as a replaceable. Okay, when I say replaceable, I'm talking about coil head replaceable, like not rebuildable, right? And then rebuildable, probably the Skyline and the Siren 1. And then as we move through the year, the Siren 2, the Aries, and then I think the K-Fun Prime as well. Okay, now for liquids, through the course of the year, beginning of the year, I was vaping all B. If you're still enjoying that liquid, and you can still get it, go out there and get it and enjoy it. I'm no longer associated with the B line or with Molecule Labs, but I still think it's a great liquid. All right. And what else did I enjoy through the course of the year? Because I kind of started to run out of B liquid. And then I found Duke from Fig. I really enjoy this. Gonzo Vapors. Okay. I'm really enjoying this Duke. And I continue to have issues with these bottles. They continue to mysteriously drain themselves. Still like Mountain Oak Vapors. White Lotus still vaped a lot of that this year. And then towards the end of the year, I kind of rediscovered this Rumble Pup. And out of the line that he sent, this Isla, which is going to be a papaya coconut rum. Really digging this one too. Oh, and of course I did some vaping on the Bromance line as well, the strawberry malt and the Italian bread pudding. Okay, so that was kind of the progression with e-liquids and devices and tanks throughout the course of the year. Okay, so now I'm kind of moving away from the coffee, went to the iced tea. Thoughts for this year, thoughts for next year. I really like what I've seen vaping, or the trend of vaping, become through the course of this year. I like the return and the interest in mouth to lung again. I like the smaller systems, the easier to use systems, kind of kind of a resurgence of the starter kits and real starter kits, real kits for beginners. And like all of these very, very easy to use pod systems for maybe to attract the folks that aren't attracted by some of the other devices that we have. So therefore, since I like that, I don't like, sub-ohming and giant air and giant clouds. No, didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth. I think it's great that we have that side. I think it's great that there are people there who are being attracted to vaping instead of smoking, who are using that style and still not smoking. The only thing that I would ask is that we do it respectfully and we do it safely and we think about what we look like to others who have absolutely no idea what we're doing, what it looks like to them, right? That's kind of my thoughts there. So no. What I need to do is to continue to be focused on the mouth to lung style, because number one, I mean, that's just how I vape, right? I mean, that's how I enjoy vaping. But I also think that, you know, when you look at a cigarette smoker, that is going to be the style that they're going to be most similar or most familiar with, right? That they're going to be most comfortable with. Now, should they want to explore into the world of sub-ohming and direct lunging or restricted direct lunging? Absolutely. But let's get them as successful vapors first. Let's successfully transition them into to vaping. So that would be the one thing that I would ask you know, anybody out there who's watching this video is to talk to smokers. Talk to smokers. Let's get more people involved with vaping. If I get 1,000 views on this video and 1,000 people, they make it their commitment to attract a smoker into the world of vaping and get somebody started with vaping, and those 1,000 people get excited about it and they go out and get 1,000 more people. I mean, just think about it. So what does that do? What does that do for us? What does that do you know, for the industry? What does that do for us as vapors? Gets more people involved, right? It makes our voice louder, right? It gives us more people to fight on our side, because we have to continue to fight to keep this around. It gives us more customers. That's something that we should think about. But also, and I think most importantly, it potentially saves a whole lot of lives. Right? This is a safer alternative to smoking. I know the FDA says that we cannot say that. You know, if I was a vape shop, I could not say that. But I'm saying it here. I'm saying it here, based on everything that I've seen, and we're seeing some really good research coming out now. You know, that this is so much safer than smoking, and it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that we have to fight for our right to do something better for us than we were doing before. So I was asked to write an article about like my thoughts for 2018. I don't like to use thoughts. I like to say like my hopes for 2018. My hopes for 2018 are to continue to see the starter kits, to continue to see simpler, easier to use devices to attract more people into what we're doing, to attract more people into tobacco harm reduction. I hope to have some wins. I hope to have some wins against the completely unfair regulations that have been put on this industry. And recently, I got a couple emails, and I posted them up on tasterjuice.com from the VTA and from CASA, talking about unity, right? And talking about these groups getting together and fighting together. I can't be more happy about that. And I wish that this had happened a long time ago. Let's put aside our differences, let's put aside the drama, and let's work together as an industry to keep this industry around. I think that's very, very important. I think that's important for jobs. I think that's important for businesses. I think that's important for investments. But I think really most important, that's important for lives, right? So I'm really, really happy to see the SAFADAs, the CASAs, the VTAs, the AVAs coming together and fighting together as a single unified group. I think that's great, and I applaud that effort. And then I guess if I could wish or hope for one more thing, it would be like the complete elimination of childish advertising, childish labels, questionable marketing, and brand infringement, right? I would love to see that go away completely. It makes the industry look so bad, and it really makes those people who are trying very hard to do the right thing, to do that right thing. Because you can have like everybody doing the right thing, and there's going to be that one company that's not doing it right, and that's what they're going to focus on. That's what they're going to focus on. That's the bottle that they're going to hold up in the FDA and say, look what they're doing, look what they're doing. And it's so hard to defend that. So I really hope that, and you know, I'm seeing more and more of that. I'm seeing the change happen. I'm seeing the voices being heard out there who are attacking, you know, the companies that are doing that. And I applaud that as well. I would really like to see that go away completely. Is there anything else? Is there anything? You know what I think I'm going to do in 2018 different in my reviews? I'm going to look at every single manual. I'm going to look at, sometimes I don't look at manuals. Sometimes I do, and then I find those funny things in there that I talk about in the videos. But maybe I'll take a look at every single manual and just kind of really rip apart the bad ones. Because maybe if I can affect some positive change there, I think that would be a cool thing to do. So maybe I'll look a little bit closer at the manuals. And that's kind of it. For me, it's it's going to be to continue to bring out these videos for you guys to the best of my ability, and also try to think about how I can reach more smokers, right? Because that's who I want to talk to. You guys are already vapors. Chances are you guys are already vapors, right? So you've already made the transition. But how can I affect more change? How can I reach more smokers? And that's kind of a challenge. That's why Dimitri and I are going to be doing that smoker show that I'm looking forward to, just to add another thing for me to do, right? But that's really what I want to do. I want to talk to and I want to reach not the young generation, maybe my generation, maybe generation ahead of me, because you know what, there's a lot of smokers there, and they need to be talked to as well, and they need somebody that they could relate to, and if that's me over somebody else, I think that's fantastic, and if you can relate better to somebody else, I think that's fantastic. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to continue to focus on and figure out how I can reach more smokers. So what do you say? Do we make the final additions to the stocking and let you know how to win it? Let's do that. But let's go through what is currently in the stocking and the sack. All right, so what's in there? The Dolphin and Exceed, courtesy of Joytech. The Cthulhu Restore MTL RTA, courtesy of Cthulhu Mods. The Vapor Shark Wismec Switch Box, courtesy of Vapor Shark. The H Cigar VT Inbox, courtesy of H Cigar. The Digiflavor Siren V1 22mm Black. Siren V1 25mm Silver. Siren V1 25mm Black. The Faro Mini, a Rip Trippers project. The Mesh Pro and Aura, a DJLSB Vapes project. The Siren 2 22mm and Siren 2 24mm, all courtesy of Digiflavor. The Geek Vape Peerless RDTA, the Amit RTA, the Aegis Mod, the hat, the t-shirt, the build mat, the Zeus RTA, the G-Box Squawk Kit, and the Mini Tool Kit, all courtesy of Geek Vape. The Inikin MVP 3.0, the Cortex, the Disruptor Plus 2, Inacell batteries, the Axiom, the Slipstream, the Scion, the Easy Watt, the Aries MTL RTA in silver and one in black as well, and the Chroma A, all courtesy of Inikin. The GTRS V-Boy 200-watt box mod, courtesy of GTRS. The Arctic Dolphin Adonis Max 26650 stabilized wood mod, courtesy of Arctic Dolphin. The Vandy Vape Pulse BF box mod. The Fused MTL stainless steel 316 Clapton wire and build kit, courtesy of Vandy Vape. The Augvape Merlin MTL RTA, courtesy of Augvape. The Sigelli Fuchai 213, courtesy of Sigelli. The Wismec CB60, courtesy of Wismec. The Aspire NX100, courtesy of Aspire. A whole bunch of tanks from a whole bunch of different manufacturers. The Soren Drop Kit and spare cartridge, courtesy of Soren. The Kanga Slim and Carry-All vape cases, courtesy of Kanga Case and Paul. The Tesla Punk 220 mod, courtesy of Tesla. The eLeaf Lush Q4 and Pro C4 chargers, courtesy of eLeaf. The two vape shears that we just mentioned in this video, and then the final edition. So the final additions to the stocking, one is kind of a funny story. So as you know, or as you may not know, Justin from JJ Vape. So Justin is the primary sponsor of TasteYourJuice.com, and every year he comes up with a rather nice prize for the stocking, and it's typically not vape related, and this year is no different. But the first edition, kind of a funny story behind it, so I'm going to tell you. So I don't know about you, But Black Friday for me is not necessarily about getting gifts for others, but it might be like stocking up on, electronics for yourself, because that's kind of what I do. So sometimes like I'll order, and thank God I'm in the position to do that. Sometimes I'll order like a bunch of different things, and sometimes when you order those things, they come with like a freebie, right? And I thought I got a freebie, and that freebie that I thought I got was this here Apple earpods, okay, with a charger base. And this came in, and I was like, oh, that must be a freebie. And so I said, honey, my wife, not Dimitri, honey, I said, look what I got. Here, you can have these. I think when I ordered something, I got a freebie, and I'm not going to use them. Here, you have them, which is kind of nice, right? And then I went back and I read Justin's email, and I realized that this was one of his additions to the stocking. So now, with my tail between my legs, I said, honey, you remember those AirPods that I gave you? You still have those? And did you open the box? She said, no, they're up there on the counter. And I said, oh, good. I said, I need those back. I said, because they're a prize entry for the stocking, and then baby, I love you. If you do like these, I'll get you a pair, okay? But this is the first entry from, or the first prize or gift, whatever you want to call it, from Justin over there at JJ Vapes. And Justin, I have tried to get him to sit here next to me. I've tried to get him to bring these to me, and it just hasn't worked out. Plus, he doesn't really like being on display like I'm doing right now. But hopefully sometime. Because I would love to get him here. I would love to sit him down and love to have a talk with him. He's got the shop, he's got the online presence, and he's really, really focused on converting smokers. And I don't say enough about Justin, and I really, really should throughout the course of the year. So thank you, Justin. And now the final prize from Justin is going to be the Apple TV 4K version. This is the brand new one. Really, really nice prizes here from Justin over there at JJ Vapes. So if you have the opportunity, because this really is wonderful, you maybe fire off an email over to Justin and thank him, or show some support to JJ Vapes. So Justin, very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. These are going in the stocking. So why do I do this every year, and why do I do it the way I am doing it? Why so much? Why so much excess? And I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's just to share a little bit of my tradition with you guys, okay? So growing up, Christmas was always kind of excess for me and my brother. My parents, God bless them, I love them dearly. They really kind of went above and beyond when it came to Christmas, so that's kind of me sharing a little bit of tradition with you. Obviously, you're not going to be able to use all of this vape gear, so I do recommend that you do whatever you want with it, but maybe make a friend and convert a smoker. So how are you going to win it? All right, so a couple rules here. There's going to be a couple rules. So the first rule is you have to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel, and that would really suck if you got your name pulled and you're not a subscriber, so I'm going to check, okay? So that is number one. Number two, you have to be of the legal smoking age wherever you come from. Now, I know that's like, it's 18 some places, 19 some places, 21 other places, it's kind of all over the place, so please be of legal smoking age, and you are going to have to provide proof of that. Number three, because I was originally going to do this U.S. only, but I don't think that's fair, because there's a lot of folks outside of the U.S. That do watch these videos. So, unfortunately, if you are the winner outside of the U.S., you are going to have to pay shipping. Now, it's going to be a big box. It's going to be a heavy box. It's probably going to be very expensive to ship. So if you do win outside of the U.S., I'll go ahead and box everything up. I'll get a price. I will communicate that price for you. If you are not willing to pay that, we will go to the next person in the list, okay? The randomized list. When do you have to get your entries in? You have until December 25th, Christmas, at midnight Eastern Standard Time to get your entries in, okay? If I get any entries outside of that date after the 25th at 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time, your entry will not be part of the random selection. Also, if your name does get pulled, okay, if you are the winner, you have 1 week to respond via email. We'll respond how I tell you in that video when we actually call the name to respond. If not, we go to the next person in the list. So what do you got to do? What you got to do is this. It's going to be a little bit of searching, okay, and a little bit of maybe research too, okay. On my Facebook recently, I published a little, kind of like funny little Star Trek spoof, okay? What you have to do is identify the episode that bit of video came from, okay? So, like I said, a little bit of hunting around on my Facebook page, a little bit of research, but I think it's totally doable, all right? So, in an email addressed to contest@tasteyourjuice.com, you are going to put your first name, your last name, dash the name of that episode. So once again, somewhere on my Facebook page, I published this very, very recently. I did a little funny Star Trek spoof. You have to identify the episode that video was taken from, okay? And in an email addressed to contest@tasteyourjuice.com, in the subject line of that email, your first name, your last name, dash the name of that episode, okay? And that, my friends, is the end of this video. Probably the last video you're going to see from this location in a while. We're going to be shooting from a different location here pretty soon. We'll actually be going back and forth between the two. So that is it. That is it. I hope you found some of the information in here fun, helpful, useful. Good luck with the stocking contest. And, of course, I wish you, your friends, and your family a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
Can I taste your juice?